evening, everyone. I am Toastmaster Amrita Toastmasters, and it is my pleasure to invite you all to this meeting of Amrita Toastmasters Club. Here at our club, we foster a supporting and active upon environment where members can hone their communication and leadership skills. Before we kick off today's meeting, I kindly request all of you to please switch off your mobile phones or set them to silent mode. Please note a few important guidelines. Discussions of sex, religion, politics, as well as mentions of our institutions are strictly prohibited. Let's maintain a professional tone throughout, avoiding any spelling or offensive language. A genuine mind, please. Avoid crosstalk or crosswalk during the session and refrain from moving around while someone is speaking. If you need to leave the room, kindly wait until the speaker is concluded to avoid disruptions. For our speakers, please keep an eye on the clock. Exceeding the time limit may lead to disqualification. Without further ado, I'm now going to stage to our excitement of the Toastmaster Club. Thank you and have a great day. Thank you, Sadhana Toastmaster Amrita. Welcome everyone to meeting number 328 of the Amrita Toastmasters Club. We're glad you all joined us today. It is technically the first official meeting for our HCOM, so thank you all for joining us. And we have a lovely team today. Glad to see that our general evaluator Toastmaster Kalyani. Before we get into our meeting, we have a couple of guests with us, and I'd like to take a moment to introduce them. To the guests, if you could introduce yourself and let me know what is your favorite science, something you think about quite a lot. What's your favorite fantasy? Something you're fixated on currently? Guest owners, are you with us online? Could you introduce yourself?
Yes.
Yes, could you introduce yourself?
Hello everyone. I'm Moses, CSE, second semester.
All right. And do you have any fantasy that you're currently thinking about?
I didn't get you.
Oh, headphone jack. Yes. Do you have anything that you're currently having in your mind? Maybe some fantasy character, some fantasy plot.
Uh, I don't know.
Good evening to my fellow Toastmasters and the guest. So today I will be the T of the tag team, which is timer. So my role is basically to ensure that people don't go out of their time and stick on time, so that for the rest of the speeches which we are going to deliver, it will be very useful for you all. So I have 3 cards, which is the green card, yellow card, and the red card. So we have, if it's a table topic session, the green card is at 1 minute, yellow card at 1 minute 30 seconds, red card at 2 minutes, with a buffer time of 30 seconds. For the prepared speeches, we have 2 prepared speakers, Himanshu and Swashni. All the very best to you all. So it's the green card at 5 minutes, yellow card at 6 minutes, red card at 7 minutes. And for the individual evaluation, green card is at 2 minutes, yellow card at 2 minutes 30 seconds, red card at 3 minutes with a buffer time of 30 seconds. So all the best to everyone. Over to them. The general evaluator, Toastmaster Kalyani.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sanjana. Next, I'd like to call upon Toastmaster Harshita, the Agra. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here. So, on behalf of the day, my role for the day is to communicate with the word or silly sounds. So, if you want my being saying, I will give you the detailed description of my findings at the end. Thank you, Toastmaster Harshita. And last but not least, our grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Ashwin.
Good evening, Toastmasters, and yes, well, it's been a long time since I came back, and most of you wouldn't have seen this would be like the first time I'm seeing all of this to the world. So I'm a grammarian for the day, and as grammarian, my role is to be taking care of all the lexical progress, how good you are with your English and how bad you are with English. And it is also my duty to give word of the day, which is paracosm. Paracosm is an imaginary word that you build as a child, which pretty much has all your idiosyncratic characters that you had as a child. So maybe if you're a 5-year-old kid as a boy, you must have had an entire world of potties. So that's the part. So that's the report of today. And towards the end, I'll be giving a report on grammarian. Yes, thank you.
So next, we'd like to move on to the parent speaker session. So before calling up Toastmaster Aditya, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Ishita, his individual evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kalyani. Good evening, everyone, and I will be as individual evaluator. So Toastmaster Aditya will be presenting a speech on understanding your leadership style. And the purpose of the speech is for the member to identify their primary leadership style or their style. Along with that, they also have to share some aspect of their leadership style or discuss their leadership style in general. So I will be evaluating Toastmaster Aditya with a set of criteria, and I will be delivering my evaluation at the end of the meeting. And with that, Toastmaster Aditya, I wish you all the best, and I hope to see you pass this with flying colors. Back to the general evaluation.
Toastmaster Aditya, nil desperandum, Toastmaster Aditya.
Well, good evening, everyone. I am Toastmaster Aditya. And before we move on, I would like to ask now, when I say the word leader, what word pops into your mind? Anyone? Huh? Hitler, fine. Something else, please.
Dedicated.
Responsibility.
Dedicated.
Dedicated. Great words. These are all traits of leadership. So we kind of have a vague figure of what a leader might look like. Do you consider yourselves to be the leader? That's the question I want to ask. Raise your hands and say yes. Not bad. We have a few hands. Our president is not raising your hand. But okay, let me put you in a situation. Let's say, because we're all politics, you're in a group project. And as we all know, there is always that one unfortunate team arrangement where one person does not work with the person. Now say you're in charge of that person. You're not in charge of the team, forget the team. You're in charge of that person. That person will be your friend. It's like when someone you take responsibility on. And they say, I can't do it. And you clearly know they can. They're just hiding the capability. How do you go about it? Do you put your foot down and say, okay, I'm being firm about this. Get your part done. Or do you say, take some time, figure things out. We have time, let's go with the flow. So people who want to be firm, raise hands. Okay. Do you? And who want to go with the flow, be a friend, raise hands. And neither. Okay, we have a few with neither. I will ask you after the meeting what this size are. But it's quite interesting. You have many different types of people. And I have my own story, which is why I'm interested with destiny. Is that I was always told I had the brain of a scientist and the heart of a philosopher. I don't know what paracosm I lived in to believe that was true. My friends have been kind to me who liked on that. I was once an aspiring leader in my 12th standard, hoping to be big academics in us, that's the order. I was rooted for it. I had done well in my academics. I was good with the people. I expected my teachers like enough to get me through it. And when the day came and my principal walks into the door and she's standing here all puffy, she's judging us because she can't let us know she's truly happy about it. She judges us and she goes, Lion's house captain, red house captain, so and so. Green house captain, so and so. Yellow house captain, so and so. And then she reaches blue, well, this is black, but it's supposed to be blue. And I expect that my entire life is depending on this moment. And she goes, Pranav. As you can tell, my name is not Pranav. And the shock I felt in that moment, I still cannot explain. I don't know what I felt. It was either no feeling or so much feeling I could not possibly able to that. And in that moment, I made a decision. If the world has said so, I am not. The fact that you all think you are, some of you think you are, you're all a step ahead. Because I cannot happen. Not yet. And I was asked, why did this plan go well? As you can see, build this one. Motto of my house, do not despair. Not courage, not power, not cunningness or being wily. No, do not despair. And there's this wonderful quote from Eleanor Roosevelt that says, lead yourself with your mind, but lead others with your heart. And I did that seriously. The first thing I did, obviously, was sink into my chair, hold my head and my thoughts. I did not know what to do, so just sat down. I went, it's all over. I expected something else. And then I had Pranav, my friend. I never blamed him for it. I never said, you know what, you took this from me, and so I will hold you responsible. I never said that because it wasn't his. He didn't choose it, he didn't ask for it. But the thing he did that day changed my life. He walked up to me and said, I don't care what they say about my family. He said, no matter what happens, I will come to you. And you will tell me. And while I told him, obviously, don't do that, be selective. Your word, you take it up. I'm happy with it. I truly was. He said no. And in due course of time, me and him found a balance. And then I realized I'm not a captain. So I need to conform myself to this one convention of, you know what, I have to root for this house and this house. I started helping the entire company. I started helping all parts of the school. I organized a play. I went up and hosted a few events. I once killed myself by bus. It's all quite the story. I'm not able to get to that, but I did not miss that. Not all. And when I did Toastmasters, I found myself a new home. And just 2 months ago, we had a speech by Toastmasters Club. He said, visit the former creation. He was elected president of the class president of the whole school. And while I did not share his story, I shared his story. He inspired me to go somewhere within. I had done this speech before, but it was my second attempt. The first speech was not me. It was an attempt at being something other, something fantastic about, something that I wanted to be true, but I knew it would be. Now here I stand before you, knowing that I'm telling you, I'm being honest with myself and the this is who I am. No matter what I've gone through, no matter how many mistakes I've made, I finally think I can accept being human. I can accept responsibility of others. And I started it. I started taking up the soft skills team. I started contributing more to the group. That's what's first happened with it. But all of this happened because one day I sat down and said, you know what? You don't understand. In Desperado, this quote was said 160 years ago when I was appointed. And that day,
Toastmasters University L2P1, that is understanding the leadership style, where the purpose of the project is to identify the primary leadership style and to share some aspect of their primary leadership style or discuss leadership styles in general. I know she's gonna run the stage, so all the best is possible, Bashmi. Over to you.
Toastmaster Subhash, the dish. The dish, Toastmaster. I did not consent to Good evening, everyone. I am Toastmaster Subhash. For those of you who do not know, have you watched the show The Bear? For those of you who haven't, I'm sorry, there is no choice. We just talk with spoilers and you have no time to listen. The Bear follows Carmen Versato, a Michelin-starred chef working at the best restaurant in the world, quits and takes over his dead brother's decorated diving dump of a family restaurant. Quite the downgrade for him. Much of the initial parts of the show involve Carmen trying to take over control of this kitchen as the new leader. And this is a kitchen that is so fragmented by greed and clashing personalities. Now, his new ways, Carmen comes in from a gourmet kitchen. So with his fancy ideas, jargon, and new system, much of the workers do not like him. His input isn't appreciated. Him taking over control isn't appreciated because he's a disruption in the system that they had followed, despite it not working out for them at all. Through a very difficult, hard-fought battle, Carmen managed to establish some semblance of propriety, order, a respect for this new system, and some sort of peace from the chaos, all the while juggling with his own grief, his trauma, and crushing debt. Carmen, at this point of the show, serves as an affiliated leader, preparing broken pots, pans, systems, and relationships in the kitchen. Not only does he ensure that what has to be done for the day, the amount of sampling he makes the service goes out, he also makes sure that the members of the team are able to work properly. He provides them with input on their dishes. He gives them new ideas. He creates this platform for them in this dining up of the restaurant where they can grow and flourish and become better versions of themselves. He becomes this collaborative leader. This is the sort of leadership that I attempt to emulate every time I am a leader. I believe that before you form a team, everyone in the team needs to have the intention to work and initiative and harmony amongst the team members. And once that is there, it is the role of the leader to put together all these people, to push them to work with one another, to support each other, and to serve as the backbone, to find the plate on which the final dish can be beautifully created. I believe that a team can really function if every member is cared for, if everyone is going to be assigned work based on their performance, yes. But if there are members who wish to learn, who wish to improve themselves, I will definitely encourage that member and push them forward, push them to greater heights. I believe I am a democratic leader, such that in any situation and any decision, all members have equal stake in it, and they are allowed to express their opinions, and their opinion is of utmost importance. Collaborative decision making thus is one of the main things I would like to focus on when I am a leader. And again, every member of the team has a voice that deserves to be heard. And I believe that we work best when you solve a problem together. Now, another thing that I would really like to emphasize when I am a leader is that the team members should be defined by their successes and not their failures. And they should be continuously given tasks that help improve their specific skill set. There should not be a situation where there is a member who can slack off and simply take credit for somebody else's work. All the members of the team must be valued, must feel valued. It's not enough just for you to know the value of the member, but the members have to feel valued. So maybe this would be a thank you or something of that sort. I believe that all of this can be done if you are an observant and attentive leader, and I always strive to be such. This is a very utopian statement, but I would love to have a lead a team which works like a well-oiled machine or a quantum computer. In goes the input and beautiful output is produced. And all of this can be done only by establishing a very good rapport with all of the members of the team. Now, after the events in season 1, we're going back to the bear now, depending on the scriptures, Carmen managed to secure funding to open a restaurant, then renovate the family restaurant and open something that suits his skill set, which is a fancy, fine dining. And this is where we see problems start. Now, we finally got in the team to a position, and now they're barely there. So they were at 0, and we've gone to 1, and the team decides to aim for a Michelin star, which is 100. And this is where we see the start of despair. Now, most of the team is working on renovations, with Carmen and his sous chef will be working on new restaurant recipes, working day and night. Carmen starts to relax a little bit. He starts to rely on his team members a lot more. All positive things, but he starts missing details. The preparation of the menu is left completely to Sydney, and he becomes this unreachable leader who is just nowhere to be found when you actually need them. Now, most fancy restaurants have a day for friends and family before the actual service begins. And it is at this period that the setup that happened completely flipped Carmen from being an affiliated leader into this control freak. He starts to set impossible non-negotiables that none of the members at that point can follow. You simply cannot expect a team, you can't set standards that are this high and expect a team that is at this level to immediately be able to deliver. And that is what Carmen does. Eyes on the prize, but no eyes on the body that has to run to the prize. Carmen ends up losing sight of what is all the important elements of a sustained success. And that is a trap that I will not fall into being a leader. I will make sure that so if there is a particular goal, the entire team has to be able to do it, has to be okay with it. Carmen starts focusing solely on his decisions, becomes a sort of dictator, and that is not something I would want to do. Having been a part of teams that function that way, I can tell you that the resentment it breeds is stronger than the satisfaction that you get from any achievement. I would like to conclude by stating that I believe that I am a leader who believes in strong communication to team, collaboration, and having a friendly work atmosphere, which basically are all the components that we need to put together a beautiful destination startup. Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Subhashni. Now moving on to our table topic session by Toastmaster Anand.
Thank you, Sweetie. If you allow me for a moment, can it's not a- So, good evening, Toastmasters and guests. I hope you have been here after a very long day, but don't worry, we have very interesting topics. Before we get into it, let's have a little bit of exercise for our creativity so that the transition is very simple. So, I invite each one of you to close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Relax. Picture yourself standing in front of a tall mountain. Stop hidden in the mist. The cold air feels sharp against your skin, and everything around you is quiet. Like time has stopped. My voice is the only sound softly echoing in your mind. Now you notice something shining to your left. It's a glowing portal calling you to step closer. Without thinking, you begin walking towards each step, sure and calm. The peaceful surroundings wrap around you like a warm blanket. As you get closer, you see three stone steps leading up to the portal. You take the first step, then the second step, and with a deep breath, you step on to the third, ready to move. But before you enter, stop for a moment. Look back at the peaceful, frosty landscape. Now, step forward. The bright golden day fades away, swallowed by a soft, mysterious light. When the light clears, you find yourself in a room filled with a warm golden glow. It's a big change from the world you live in. Just a few steps ahead, you see a mirror. There's something about it that draws you in. Like you can't help but look. Slowly you walk towards it, pulled by an invisible force. As you stand in front of the mirror, you realize this is the mirror of desire. It doesn't just show your reflection, it reveals your deepest dreams and your true wishes. Stand before it and see what it shows you. Now you can open your eyes. Is anyone volunteering to say what the mirror showed you? Anyone wishing to say? No? Come on. Yes.
A stable career and
All you can go and just walk there. Okay. I guess no one just repeats it. We all see that in the film, at least in the dreams. Okay, let's go into the topics now. So first, I'll call upon a Toastmaster so that the Toastmaster can show what a table topics looks like, and then we can call upon the guests. So, who do we call upon? Toastmaster Vishwa. Which have cursed you to say out loud whatever you're thinking for an entire day. Oh no. Now you are in a party with a person you absolutely dislike and want to avoid. What's the first thought that might slip out and how would you recover it? All the best, Toastmaster Vishwa.
thank you, Toastmaster Alan. That was what a wonderful topic, which has served me and all day I cannot hide my thoughts. It is problematic, sure, but to an extent, I don't hide my thoughts. The only place I hide my thoughts is in class. So now that I'm at a party and I don't need the alcohol to, let my words flowing. So I'm going to look at this person I dislike and say, oh no, here we go again. Of all the places to be at, I thought I could come to the party and have some fun, enjoy, have a nice time, eat good food and party and dance, but no, I have to meet you. Why am I seeing you? Why do you exist? Why did your parents give birth to you? And I mean, these are the rather, Toastmasters appropriate thoughts. I would probably also wonder, like, your parents probably regret having you. I don't know. So, which would just, enable me to be more expressive with my feelings. And I would probably be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm the girl. It's not my fault. I'm not like this usually, in public at least. So, I think I would actually enjoy the course, except I would not want to have it in college, but outside of college, if we're going out, I would definitely love that course. So it's a good way to blame, I can just blame everything on the girl and then have fun with my life. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster Anand.
Wow, what a twist it was. Because the two women are going the one who resides in the second floor. Okay. So let's call upon our guests. Anyone ready? Oh, sorry. Okay.
Toastmaster. Yes. What's the name of it? It's an easy topic. You wake up and your mirror brings you into the mirror world. You meet the mirrored version of yourself who offers you a choice to stay in their world, but on one condition. Everything about you is opposite in that world. Would you choose to accept it? Why?
Because I think I'm person. In opposite the mirror, I think I thought of a bad version of me, so that I rather choose the opposite. Real, not the real.
Again, this quality is like the name. You receive a letter from a wizard inviting you to a secret school of magic where you can learn any sort of magic beyond your realms of imagination, but on one condition. You cannot come back to the muggle world, which means the normal world. Would you accept the invitation and why?
Yeah, I think that's a lot of yes, actually, because most of them would want to escape from reality. I haven't seen you with this lot of pressure right now. I kind of like both person and that kind of stuff. I think since I'm a big fan of Vampire Diary, I think the imagination right now is in class. But I would, if I would put it on magic, I know I would be really like hypnotizing maybe. Maybe like hypnotizing people so that I can just make them make them do what I wanted to do. But that is kind of manipulating in a bad way. That's I could go on a bit funnier, but still I think I could go on a bit of political and global stuff. I think magical would be being invisible. I think it'd be really fun to just curse or just play around with and roam around. And so I think being invisible would be really fun.
Already hypnotizing everyone I know. And let's call upon very good question. One day you wake up to find that aliens have abducted you or who mistake you for their long lost bulls. They believe a true ruler must have a glowing teeth. So they hand you alien toothpaste that tastes like old socks but makes your smile shine. Do you use it or do you have an experience?
Of course, I'm not gonna use it. I mean, okay, very wild question, but yeah, I'm not gonna use it. First of all, talk you. And second of all, I think if I refuse to use it, they would probably think I'm not the ruler and put me back to Earth, which I would rather prefer because I like my life over here. I think it's kind of decent. Like, I like the person I am right now, so I would rather stay on Earth rather than becoming the ruler, accepting their disgusting toothpaste. Thank you.
But there's a one twist actually. If they found out that you are not a ruler, you will actually experiment. Okay, so I think all the guests are done. So we call our Toastmasters. So let's have a change in energy when we call upon Toastmaster Aditya and Toastmaster Ishita both. Yes, it's a dual topic. So, ready? I don't think that's. You are a mix. Okay. So you don't get to choose the person.
Toastmaster Aditya, you are a time traveler who has accidentally crashed into Genghis Khan's royal feast wearing pajamas and spilled his food. Furious, Genghis Khan is very furious and he demands an explanation, and your life depends on your answer. Toastmaster Kushika, you are encouraged by distress. Don't punish the time traveler, but if dignitary is eating your royal feast, you must find a creative and a humiliating way to make the time traveler pay. So, what's your plan? Yes.
Alright. So now it turns out I'm no longer Toastmaster. I'm Genghis Khan from the Yes, so the very first thing I would do is, what sort of attire are you wearing present? No. No. So come on, and this random person has crashed into my place, attempting to take over my kingdom and my riches. The very first thing I would do is to cut off your head. But I would like to know where you got your interesting attire from. So maybe I can have him punished. Let's have him tortured for a bit. Maybe we'll threaten to feed him to the wolves or the elephants or my guest. And perhaps if he's still not going to spill the beans from where he is or regarding origins, maybe we would threaten him with some very friendly usage of poison. Perhaps that would help get the information out faster. If that doesn't work either, I have heard that in the olden times, they use this machine of sorts where they would attempt to stretch the person out. Now, Toastmaster Aditya, even though you're no longer Toastmaster Aditya, you are quite tall. Maybe let's make you taller with the help of the torture, and maybe that's what I would do at the great.
My lord, I know I must have covered a great atrocity. Forgive me. I have been through a feast in these dignitaries. I do not know it was the feast. I know I am Shakespeare, but we're going. I present thee with this beautiful loincloth. Visions from magical nature. Whenever a fishbone gets stuck in thy throat, or an affliction bears thee, or poison traps thee, this from an ancient, a futuristic art form, Ayurveda, shall cure thee of all diseases. As for torturing, please don't put me through it. I grant you that I have stuck to me a terrible device. At the moment you attempt to bring me harm, your entire kingdom shall disappear before you. I shall make sure your names are no longer remembered in the annals of history. I shall erase you from this timeline. But, my lord, I shall allow you this. Forgive me, and I shall leave your land peaceful in all my life.
The spout is bound now.
That's. Oh, let's have a big Last time somebody threatened Genghis Khan, I don't know what. And we saw something here. Shakespeare proposed to Genghis Khan. Let me go, or else you went like this.
The torture device.
I mean, so that was really good. Let's call upon I have very good questions. Who wants to volunteer us? Yes. I love it. I had this question for Toastmaster Veda, but she didn't come today. It's a good question. You will see. So, where's the question? Yeah. You accidentally kissed a frog and it turned into a handsome prince. Now he insists you to marry him. Otherwise, you'll be cursed to turn into a frog. So, will you marry the frog prince or become the frog yourself?
And guys?
No. So basically, you marry the frog prince.
People who know me know for a fact I don't have anything. So I would happily take my mistake as handsome prince to be my husband. And he's a prince, why not? Just imagine treasures, cold. What is that to happen, guys? Why would you say no and become a fraud? Why would I even do that? Especially when I don't have a guarantee for my job. I don't know what my package is. I don't know what is going to happen in my life. I randomly need a friend who's ready to marry me. Yes, I will say yes. Done.
Coincidentally, it's a frog color. Okay, so next. Those must be coming. I'm scared. So this one you watched. Your new alarm clock doesn't just wake you up. It loudly announces your weirdest speech to everyone here. What's the one dream you'll be terrified to hear it announced?
Shouldn't give such topics.
I
Okay, we start with when Toastmasters Anand was saying this topic. Toastmasters success me roommate and she just gave me this film. Because for a fact that my alarm clock never wakes me up, it wakes up all of my roommates and they have to come and turn it off. Yeah, so that's the issue. So if it rings, imagine that I set my alarm clock at 5 and I am in this very wonderful. I know what I should mention. Okay, so let's. Sometimes I see dreams of people dying. What if I see a dream of my roommate dying and killing them? And they come to turn it off and they'll be like, Sanjana, you are being killed by Kalyani. And I don't know if she'll turn off my alarm or if she'll slap my face at that point. So that's one instance. And other than that, I would rather find out ways to throw away the alarm clock because I do not want an alarm clock that explicitly announces my dreams. It's privacy intervening. Come on, it's 2025. We all care about our privacy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thank you.
Thanks. It was for that. Yeah. So, those Maharashtra. Yes, okay. Okay, I think all these questions are over. Answer. Yes, okay, I think it's an easy question. You performed one of the greatest crime humanity has ever witnessed. As a result, you have been punished to live in a time loop, repeating the same day forever. But you are given a choice to choose that single day which will go. What day will it be? But remember, if you choose a happy day, it will become a sad day eventually, and you'll have no happy memories to leave behind.
So you say that choose a happy day, it will eventually go a sad day. Its repetition is going to go away.
Yeah.
And I obviously don't want to pick a day that's already sad. So I'll pick a day where I sleep. I will not name any names, but there is a certain person trying to teach me Korea series. Yes. I think you know who. When we teach Korea series in 2 hours, I sit in the second last bench of class, and now our classrooms have computers on them, they have PCs on them for some reason. And that's 2 straight hours right after lunch. That is the day I'm picking. I'm sleeping in. Every day, I'm going to have my headphones and I'm going to listen to good music and I'm going to take a really nice. I'm going to do this for every day for as long as I have to get punishment.
Just wants to learn. You like it? Come on. Come on. You are Harry Potter with a mischievous wand that sometimes grants wishes, but sometimes plays pranks. You are on a date and you try to summon enchanting flowers, but end up splatting smelly cakes in your partner's face. How do you make it up?
By the way, I am ardent Harry Potter fan, so thank you so much for the topic. And the first thing that came to my mind when you told me the topic was Neville Longbottom. Because this watch definitely does all these stuff. Found, restored, if it was suffering also in movies, I hope it's better, rest in peace, whatever. Now, as far as date, I don't think that would happen anytime soon. Well, let's take an imaginary situation where it is happening. By the way, it is okay. Don't tell me I am being whatever. It is supposed to be the guy who has to give flowers to the girl, and not the girl who has to give flowers to the guy. Yeah. And I identify myself as a girl. So this point of my, so this topic of yours, I don't think it's quite valid.
Okay, so you want to end it up like this?
I have stuff in my bag all the time that I can use for cleaning stuff, or as for your cakes, I can just wipe them off with tissues, or even sanitizer because I carry them after Corona. So yeah, that's partly my answer.
Personally, when I'm coming to deny your topic, your topic is valid.
What the heck? I have like third topic, and you made me give the floor.
I'm sorry.
So let's call upon two more us. So we are going to give you a very humorous topic. Your bathroom turns into a portal to a magical world. I've seen in this Harry Potter. No, I haven't. Really? That's happened. No, they go into the. Okay. Your bathroom turns into a portal to a magical world, but you have to flush yourself down to enter. What's your reaction the first time this happens? Okay, so out of this is image of sleeping toilet. Take out content, but okay. My first thoughts would be the plumbing is not good. Okay, probably call the sanitation people. I'll probably have masks with me. It won't be used for questions. Let's see. Nah, I can't. Gosh. Yeah. Do you have any other topic? I don't think so. You want to end it up like this? Yeah, I'll let it up. Okay. Sorry for giving it real some time. So I think it's fine. Mostly, I'll not be taking topics like this. I'll not carrying away here. I'm sorry. So experiments. Yes, it's just an experiment. Giving back to GP.